My mother-in-law switched my birth control pills with vitamins to force me to get pregnant. When Jake and I got married, I thought I was gaining a loving mother-in-law in Patricia. She was warm, welcoming, and seemed genuinely excited to have me as part of the family. She'd invite me over for coffee, ask about my work, and always made sure I felt included in family gatherings. Jake and I had been very clear from the beginning that we wanted to wait at least 5 years before having children. We were both focused on our careers, paying off student loans, and saving for a house. Patricia seemed understanding when we explained our timeline, nodding sympathetically and saying how smart we were to plan ahead. "There's no rush," she'd say with a smile. "When the time is right, you'll know." I'd been on the same birth control pill for years without any issues. My cycle was regular, I never missed doses, and my doctor had assured me it was one of the most reliable forms of contraception available. So when I started feeling nauseous and exhausted about 8 months into our marriage, pregnancy was the last thing on my mind. "You're probably just stressed from the new job," Jake said when I mentioned feeling off. I'd recently started working at a demanding marketing firm, and the long hours were definitely taking their toll. But when I missed my period, I decided to take a pregnancy test just to be safe. The positive result felt like a punch to the gut. I stared at those 2 pink lines for a full 5 minutes, trying to process what this meant for our carefully planned timeline. Jake was shocked but supportive when I told him. "These things happen," he said, holding me while I cried. "Birth control isn't 100% effective. We'll figure it out." His reaction was exactly what I needed to hear, but something nagged at me. I'd been so careful with my pills, taking them at the same time every day, never missing a dose. How could this have happened? My doctor confirmed the pregnancy and explained that while birth control was highly effective, there were factors that could reduce its efficacy. Certain medications, illness, even stress could impact how well the pills worked. I left his office feeling slightly better, chalking it up to bad luck and the stress of adjusting to married life and a new job. Patricia's reaction when we told her was pure joy. She actually squealed and clapped her hands together like a child on Christmas morning. "Oh, I'm so excited," she exclaimed, pulling me into a tight hug. "I've been praying for this day. A grandchild." "We weren't exactly planning for this to happen so soon," I said carefully, watching her expression. "Well, sometimes God has other plans," she replied with a knowing smile. "Babies are always a blessing, no matter when they arrive." Over the following weeks, Patricia became incredibly involved in my pregnancy. She'd call daily to check on me, bring over prenatal vitamins and books about pregnancy, and constantly offered to help with doctor's appointments or shopping for baby items. "You don't need to do all this," I told her one afternoon when she showed up with yet another bag of pregnancy-related items. "We're still adjusting to the news ourselves." "Nonsense," she waved off my concerns. "I'm just excited to be a grandmother. Let me spoil you a little." Her enthusiasm was overwhelming but seemed genuine. Jake was thrilled that his mother was so supportive, and I tried to appreciate her involvement even though it felt like too much sometimes. About 3 months into the pregnancy, I started experiencing severe morning sickness that lasted all day. My doctor prescribed medication to help, but I was still struggling to keep food down and maintain my energy levels for work. "Why don't you stay with us for a few days?" Patricia suggested when she saw how rough I looked. "I can take care of you while Jake's at work. Make sure you're eating properly and resting." Jake thought it was a wonderful idea. "Mom took great care of me when I was sick as a kid. She'll have you feeling better in no time." I was hesitant about staying at my in-laws' house, but I was feeling so awful that any help seemed appealing. I packed a bag and moved into their guest room for what was supposed to be a long weekend. Patricia was attentive to the point of being suffocating. She'd bring me meals in bed, constantly checking my temperature, and insisting I rest instead of doing anything remotely strenuous. She even offered to manage my medications for me. "I'll set up a pill organizer," she said, holding out her hand for my prescription bottles. "That way you don't have to worry about remembering what to take when." I hesitated for a moment, then handed over my prenatal vitamins and morning sickness medication. "I keep my birth control in my purse," I said automatically. Full story on channel link below.